Alrighty, so I wanted to go over the morning work. So technically we're in class, we're on week 10. So this is an old one that I'm happy to go over with. Okay. It doesn't give too much details, but I do want you guys to see the work that we put into this. Okay. So across the top, they have what's called a fluency blast. It has sight words that they trace every day in rainbow colors. So Monday it's red, Tuesday it's orange, Wednesday it's green, Thursday it's blue. And then I check off to see if they know the words or if they're having trouble with those words. These words are also tend to be following along the 5 words list. So they'll be embedded in there. So what they do is they're supposed to be spelling the word. So it's like good, G-O-O-D, and they trace it and they do the next one and so on and so forth. Saying the word, spelling the word, saying the word again. And then they color in a bubble. They do that every day, and that should be practicing those high frequency words, those sight words. Okay. Then each day there's an assignment. So we have day 1, that's on Mondays, days 2s on Tuesdays, days 3s on Wednesdays, days 4 on Thursday. Now it kind of looks like day 1 and day 4 are very similar, but day 1 is normally like an informational text versus day 4, which is kind of like a little literature, which is like a story paragraph. And it's just a paragraph that we go over. But here is where we practice like our grammar, how to cite questions and answers, how to restate the question, and so on. So I'm going to go over that with you here. So this will feel like a lot longer, but I promise you we only do 15 minutes a day. And then on Thursdays, there's the test, to which the even numbers they do take home. So go ahead, ruffle through those backpacks, try to find how they've been doing, how they've been practicing. And we also have them up on our work wall in the classroom, right by the board where it says ELA work. Okay, so that's how it's hung there, and usually there's like a sticky note and stuff on it. So here we go, diving on in. I do apologize for the angle. I'm like part Microsoft camera and so on and so forth. Anyways, so being gentle, knowing that not all of our scholars know how to read, they do know how to find sight words. So I tell them, take out a yellow crayon, find your sight words. If they don't know what their sight words are, they're supposed to be going into their OWL folders, pulling out that fry words list of 100 words. Some of them have the second 100 words because they passed their first one. Good job studying. And they're supposed to be looking through the fry words lists. And that takes a little bit of time, but after a while, they're supposed to recognize them. So, again, this angle is just killing me slowly. Here we go. And then I have to like work over it. So R is definitely a sight word. So haikus are not. Short for right now is not in the first 100. Poems are not. Haikus are not. R, from, yes. Japan, no. Some, yes. Are, yes. About, yes. Nature, no. A, yes. Haiku, no. Has, yes. 17 syllables. So that's what we did in the beginning. They would go word for word. But then they should be able to go faster by sentences. So it has 3 lines. So it has 3 are all sight words. The first lines have 5 syllables. The first has 5. The second line has 7 syllables. The second has 7. The third line has 5 syllables. The third has 5. Many haiku are about seasons. Many are about. What are haiku? What an are? How many syllables does a haiku have? How many does a and have? What are some haikus about? What are some and about? So after they've colored them, or highlighted them is what we say, then they're to count them off and find out how many sight words there are. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 38. And we write that down on the corner. And that just boosts their confidence, lets them know, well, there's 38 words out of, who knows, maybe 50, between 45 to 50 words that are on that paragraph in that just box alone that they should feel confident with. Okay. Then the next color is orange. And oranges are nouns. And I wonder if I can pause. Okay, so that didn't really work out. It stopped the video, and so I messed up. Hopefully I can edit it together. But they should tell you that it's a person, a place with like a little house, and then a thing representing a book. And then that proper nouns begin with capital letters and their names, and pronouns are words that replace the nouns, and that's usually on the board with like a list of pronouns, and we recite those pronouns. Okay, so I'm gonna pause. All right, so grabbing my orange, we are going to find those pronouns, and those nouns. Pronouns are included, and pronouns are names. Like, so haiku is a common noun, it's just a poem. Because notice later on, when they use the word haiku, see, like right there, it's not a name, it's just a type, it's a genre. Okay, poems. Haiku are from Japan. Haiku, Japan is a name, so that is going to have a caret. Like so. So that's a little triangle. Some are about nature. Nature. A haiku has 17 syllables. Haiku, syllables are things. It has 3 lines. Now, it is a pronoun, so we box pronouns. Lines are things. The first line has 5 syllables. Line. Syllables. The second line has 7 syllables. Line, syllables. Third line has 5 syllables. Line, syllables. Many haiku are about seasons. Haiku, seasons. What are haiku? Haiku. How many syllables does a haiku have? Haiku. And syllables. What are some haiku about? Haiku. Okay, but we don't count those. Next is green, and again I'm going to pause to show you the action for that. Okay, so verbs are action. Okay, so they're supposed to make that hand clapping or action, anything that's moving. Okay, there are irregular verbs, again that's listed out, and I can put those towards the end of the video if you really want them. But normally we have them on the board, we recite those irregular verbs and we box them. So you'll see what I'm talking about soon enough. So green, green, green. Verbs. So R is irregular because it has the form to be. So haikus are short poems. Haikus are from Japan. Some are about nature. A haiku has is irregular. It has 3 lines. The first line has 5 syllables. Has. Second line has 7 syllables. Third line has. And after a while they kind of get the gist of it. What are haiku? How many syllables does a haiku have? Those are irregular. And what are some haiku about? So for this one, it was all irregular. When we get to that day 401, then you'll see something different. And maybe I'll even put this into chunks so it won't be that long. All right, after green, it's blue. Adjectives. And here comes the symbols, the motions for that. All right, so adjectives are what things look like, sound like, taste like, smell like, feel like, time, shape, size, how many, and color. Okay, so that's adjectives, and I'm going to color code that right now. Alrighty, so now we're going to look for these adjectives. So haikus are short poems, short. Haikus are from Japan, none. Some are about nature. The word some talks about how many. A haiku has 17 syllables, 17 is a number. It has 3 lines, 3. The first line has 5 syllables, first, 5. The second line has 7 syllables. 7. The third line has 5 syllables. Third, 5. Many haiku are about seasons. Many. And what are haiku? None are there. How many syllables does a haiku have? Many. What are some haiku about? Some. Alrighty. And then I tell him, get any color crayon your little heart desires. Because now we're going to be citing. So, reading the whole thing. Haikus are short poems. Haiku are from Japan. Some are about nature. A haiku has 17 syllables. It has 3 lines. The first line has 5 syllables. The second line has 7 syllables. The third line has 5 syllables. Many haiku are about seasons. So they're asking, what are haiku? Now, in the classroom, we practice R.A.C.E, which is R is for restating, A is for answer, C is for citing, E is for explaining. Right now, for the month of September, we are on R.A. Before we were focusing on R in August, now we're on R.A., where I model how they restate and where they can find their answers so that they're answering it. So we cross out question words such as what, and then we grab a pencil and we restate. Haiku are. So we've taken these 2 words. I wonder if this zooms in. Okay. I wonder. Can I? I can. Cool. Sorry for you being my guinea pigs. Okay. But there, haiku are. And you go back into the paragraph. That's the first sentence. Haikus are short poems. So we've underlined it. We wrote number 1. Normally I leave it blank and they're to be filling it in with their pencils. Short poems. And I tell them, you're not supposed to be copying for me. My goal is for them to be interdependent so that they learn where to find these answers. Okay? So number 2 says, how many syllables does a haiku have? We cross out how. Well, we're not restating here. There's 7 and then there's 17. So they go back into the paragraph and we're looking for either 7 or 17. Well, I find the number 17 and I'm going to label that number 2. So now I know number 2. The answer is B, 17. What are some haiku about? Here's where I restate again, crossing out what, keeping keeping R. I underline. So underlining means that's what I'm rewriting, but I'm not using the question mark. Now it does not make sense. Are some haiku about? You have to rearrange that. That's why I encourage them. Talk to yourselves. Ask yourselves questions. Does that make sense? If yes, then copy it right away. If not, play with the words. See where they go. So the verb should really be at the end. So we're going to say some. Now I'm going to move my paper so you may see because I did zoom in. Some haiku are about. Then I tell them, all right, now that we've restated, find it. What are some about? Well, if they went to not the first sentence or the second sentence, but the third sentence, some are about nature. So that can answer question number 3. And then that last sentence, many are about seasons. That answers number 3. They could write either or, they can write both. It really depends on them. They can say some haiku are about nature. And adding a third line, seasons. They got to choose, okay? So it's not a cookie cutter answer, not a one size fit all type of thing. It gives them some choice, but again, the idea is that I showed them where to find the answer and it is their job to put it in because restating is only half of it, okay? So that's day 1.